This video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Star Wars Rise of Skywalker has been released, and as 2020 begins, we still don't know what is next for Star Wars on the big screen. For the time being, it's all about the small screen. More specifically, it's about Disney+, where The Mandalorian just concluded its first season, and won a lot of jaded Star Wars fans back over in the process. That, of course, leaves the question, when will those now firmly back on the Star Wars bandwagon get their next fix on Disney+? In this video, I'll take a look at both confirmed upcoming shows as well as rumored ones. These include Darth Vader, Darth Maul, and yes, everyone's favorite, Rose Tico. As a bonus, we'll even explore why she had such a small role in Rise of Skywalker. But whichever of these rumored series actually ends up being made, they'll have one thing in common. They'll be exclusive to Disney+. While the platform is slowly rolling out in more and more countries, a lot of audiences across the globe still has no way of seeing even the celebrated Mandalorian, unless they use VPN, that is, which is something this video's sponsor, Surfshark, just so happens to deliver. First and foremost, a VPN, or Virtual Private Network, is a privacy protection tool which guarantees instant online safety. Surfshark encrypts all the data sent via the internet, so that no one can obtain usernames, logins, passwords, private messages, or steal content or other sensitive data. And make no mistake about it, there are those who are looking to get your data, especially out there on the high seas. Now, to be clear, no one here condones you being on the high seas in the first place. Going hunting for pirate treasure is wrong, even if you know that's where VPN really comes in handy. But VPN also provides a far better alternative, as Surfshark allows you to change the country you access the internet from, which in turn allows you to bypass geo-blocking restrictions. That way, you can subscribe to a whole host of online streaming services which may be restricted to certain regions, and thus obtain their exclusive content through your own registered profile no matter where you physically may be located. An additional advantage with Surfshark over many other VPN providers is that it allows one account to be used on multiple devices, like your stationary computer, your laptop, your smartphone, your tablet, and any other device you might have. But there's more. Surfshark sponsors this video, so we have a deal for you. If you type in the code MIDNIGHT when ordering, that triggers an exclusive New Year's deal in which you get 83% off the normal list price, plus 3 extra months for free. Surfshark also offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk in trying it out. Do check out the link in the description below for further details. And with that out of the way, let's first look at what Star Wars content we know is coming to Disney+. Those into animated Star Wars won't have to wait long, as a new season of The Clone Wars is coming as early as in February. At a later, but as of yet unannounced time in 2020, there is also Jedi Temple Challenge, which is being built as a reality competition series hosted by Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar Binks, that will put teens through the ringer as they become Padawans in real life. I'm sure someone out there must find that interesting. Let me know in the comments if you do, because I certainly don't, but that's neither here nor there. Then of course there is Season 2 of The Mandalorian, which is filming right now, so that should be a treat to cap off 2020. And beyond that, there are the announced Cassian Andor prequel series, and of course the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And I gotta say, even as someone not really that into Star Wars, even I'm looking forward to that. But outside of those, all we have is rumor and speculation, neither of which we are afraid of exploring on this channel, so let's do that, and begin with the bad guys. According to rumors that have found their way to We Got This Covered, there is a Darth Maul series in development over at Disney+. Now, let's not deny it. This is coming from We Got This Covered, an outlet which I've heard some refer to as We've Got This Made Up, due to their somewhat spotty track record, but they appear confident in this story, citing that their source has been right before. They initially posted this scoop several months ago, but then they doubled down on it a few days ago. I would not believe this, were it not for the Darth Maul cameo in Solo: A Star Wars Story, which, incidentally, is just about the only part of that movie I even remember at this point. And I think I'm not the only one, so I'm sure a Darth Maul series could be popular if they went in that direction. They obviously must have had plans for the character, otherwise he wouldn't have been in Solo in the first place. There obviously won't be a Solo 2, seeing as that was the first certified flop in Star Wars box office history. But I wouldn't be too surprised if his story was followed up elsewhere. Darth Maul, by the way, isn't the only Sith Lord rumored for a series of his own. We Got This Covered also claimed, or rather, their sources did the claiming, but again, We Got This Covered stressed the past track record of these sources, so if they are to be believed, a Darth Vader series is also at the very least under consideration. It would feature James Earl Jones as the voice, maybe Hayden Christensen in flashbacks and select other scenes, and some stuntman behind the mask most of the time. Again, I don't know the veracity of this, but I gotta say, I would be very interested in this. I actually have been reading the Darth Vader comics from Marvel, and while Vader's arc was told in the movies, there are obviously more stories to tell about the character. I'll take a Darth Maul series if it should come to pass, but in the case of Darth Vader, I actually hope it will. And even if he doesn't get a full series of his own, I do believe we will see him again in more appearances like in Rogue One, for there is another rumor as well, and it too is tied to Darth Vader. Dr. Aphra is a fairly new character in the Star Wars mythos. She actually first appeared in the pages of Marvel's Darth Vader comics, which is why there is a Darth Vader connection, and why I incidentally know of her. From there, she was spun off into her own regular comic, which has found its audience. She's an Indiana Jones-style archaeologist with criminal leanings, and hangs out with a Wookiee and a sadist C-3PO-style droid that likes to torture people. So yeah, good clean fun. On December 12th, Inverse published an interview with Star Wars leaker Jason Ward, who leaked early that Yoda's species would show up in The Mandalorian. In this interview, it was claimed that not only is a Dr. Aphra series 100% happening, it may already secretly be filming. If this is true, we'll know soon enough. This then brings us to Rose Tico. To many fans of The Last Jedi, Rose Tico was the breakout character, and many of these fans were quite taken aback, not just by the vitriolic response to the Rose Tico character in The Last Jedi, but to her being but a glorified extra in Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. This caused such a stir that screenwriter Chris Terrio actually had to defend that to Awards Daily. About this, he said, "Well, first of all, JJ and I adore Kelly Marie Tran. One of the reasons that Rose has a few less scenes than we would like her to have has to do with the difficulty of using Carrie's footage in a way we wanted to. We wanted Rose to be the anchor at the Rebel base who was with Leia. We thought we couldn't leave Leia at the base without any of the principals who we love, so Leia and Rose were working together. As the process evolved, a few scenes we'd written with Rose and Leia turned out to not meet the standard of photorealism that we'd hoped for. Those scenes unfortunately fell out of the film. The last thing we were doing was deliberately trying to sideline Rose. We adore the character, and we adore Kelly, so much so that we anchored her with our favorite person in this galaxy, General Leia. Let's be clear, unless you're a boat, Being anchored to something is not a good thing, because it means you're stuck to something holding you back. That whole comment, to me, reads like spin. If they really adored the character that much, they wouldn't have anchored her to the one character that had to be weekend at Burniest. Disney knows full well that of all the plummeting Star Wars merchandise and toy sales, none sold less than Rose Tico. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they really did sideline her, although I don't blame them for not saying that out loud. Deliberate or not, that is an injustice Crazy Rich Asians director John M. Chu is determined to see corrected. Deadline Hollywood has the story. Now, to be clear, the Rose Tico series isn't so much a rumor as it is wishful thinking at this point. There are no rumors that a Rose Tico series is actually in development. The whole story really boils down to him lobbying Disney to give him a Rose Tico series. I am sure some in Disney will be tempted to listen, since they are in the same bubble as The Last Jedi Defenders. But for now, wishful thinking is all this is. So, there you have it. Which of these rumored series do you think will find its way to Disney+? Let me know in the comments. And before you go, remember to head on over to this video's sponsor, Surfshark, and use the promo code MIDNIGHT to get 83% off the normal list price, plus 3 extra months for free of Surfshark VPN. Link is in the description.